Hi, so thanks for joining us.
Very happy to be here.
Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us your role?
My name is Ed Boon. I am the creative director at Neatherealm Studios, and we're here to talk about Mortal Kombat X.
Great. So obviously huge franchise. So do you want to give us a little bit of a rundown of Mortal Kombat for those who have never seen it or have lived under a rock?
Sure. Mortal Kombat is originally started as a arcade fighting game in 1992, and has had home versions released following them, and so it continued as an arcade game through Mortal Kombat 4, and then at Deadly Alliance we were strictly a console game. Went all on, many sequels. The last version that we did was called Mortal Kombat. We just kind of used it, but technically it was Mortal Kombat 9. And to our surprise and amazement and delight, was the highest selling of all the Mortal Kombat games. So naturally, we followed it up with this Mortal Kombat X, which is kind of like the next generation of Mortal Kombat. X is kind of means 10. It means next in like kind of Generation X. It's a lot of meanings of the X, and so it is really the most new features that we've added to any Mortal Kombat game, and the most advanced presentation of any Mortal Kombat game.
And obviously you mentioned next gen. This is the first next gen Mortal Kombat game
Exactly.
we've seen. So what have you brought new and amazing into Mortal Kombat X?
Quite a bit. We really wanted to make sure that we didn't just skin the last game with something pretty, as far as graphics and stuff. So, the next-gen graphics is kind of like the entry point for us. It's like that's where you start. But we really wanted to add as much new features, and the big feature is the character variations. Every character has 3 versions of themselves that the player can pick from. 3 versions that have different special moves, different strategies, different fighting styles that are very unique and distinct based on how you like playing that character. So fighting games are all about matchups. So it's not just Scorpion and Sub-Zero, it's Scorpion A versus Sub-Zero B versus Raiden C. Just that mix-up really adds a lot to the variety and depth of the game.
Okay. You've revealed a couple of new characters in the last week. How many more characters are you going to reveal before the game comes out?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know how many we're going to do an actual announcement and reveal. Probably several more, but I think at the end of the day, the Mortal Kombat X will probably have comparable cast size to Mortal Kombat 9. Maybe a few more.
Plus, obviously, the 3 variations.
Exactly.
Who's your favorite character then?
My favorite character has always been Scorpion. Has always been since the very beginning. I'm the voice of Scorpion, the get over here and all that. So it's I have a kinship to it.
What's been the biggest challenge for you guys developing Mortal Kombat X?
This is the first game that we've done on these generation of consoles, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and so it's, there's been a technical kind of learning curve that we have, but once we really got our swing, we got our stride, we really managed to really like squeeze out all the power of those systems. So we're really excited about how the game is looking, and at the same time, a big challenge was just adding new stuff. We're adding more characters to this game than we have in a really long time, and we're really getting pushing ourselves to get the new features and not just to kind of rest back on the previous game, which did so well.
Is there anything you wanted to do but either couldn't for time reasons or practicality reasons?
I think every game that we do, there's a number of things that we kind of leave on the cutting room floor, so I would say certain gameplay features that we tried that we knew we were going to a little bit more time to flesh out, and so some of those went away. Obviously with every fatality or special move in the game, there's 10 that were left on the cutting room floor, so that's always kind of the normal process of developing a game.
Okay, let's talk a bit about X-rays and finishing moves. You're not a little bit worried you may have gone too far this time?
No, at this point, our X-ray moves, our fatalities, they're so over the top. Most of the time the reaction we get from people is laughter, ironically. You wouldn't think so, but they're just so silly that people just can't take them seriously at this point.
Have you got a particular favourite that have been revealed so far, or
Probably Scorpion's fatality. Yeah, with the face and all that stuff.
slicing his face off?
Yeah, that's probably the most gives you the best indication of the stuff that's to come.
Okay. If you could say the top 5 things about Mortal Kombat X, what would they be?
I would say number 1 would be the character variations from the gameplay standpoint. The story mode is huge. It's epic. It covers the course of 25 years. It's really a great story. The descendants of characters. This is the first time we're going to be seeing, the offspring, the descendants, children of your favorite Mortal Kombat characters, and then also seeing some of your favorite Mortal Kombat characters in older, more mature, more experienced, more weathered form is a big one. And of course, in general, I would say, like obviously fatalities are really cool, and but in general, just the newness of the game, how much new features we've crammed into it.
Okay, you mentioned obviously the descendants. Obviously, we've got Cassie Cage. Are there any others you can reveal?
None that we are at liberty to say right now, but there's definitely more to come, that's for sure.
Excellent. And what's next for you guys once the game ships?
We haven't announced anything yet, but I'm sure we have started some stuff that I unfortunately am not at liberty to say.
Okay. If you could have any matchup Mortal Kombat, what would it be?
Any matchup?
Yeah.
Like 2 characters?
Yeah,
or?
from any of the Mortal Kombat games, whether they're in the same game or not. Have you got a particular, I'd love to see this character fight this character?
You know what? Unfortunately, I go back to Scorpion and Sub-Zero. They're the most iconic ones. I think probably the next time we show them fighting, we're going to let Sub-Zero win because Scorpion's won and he's won enough times.
You wouldn't want to upset him, would you?
Yeah, exactly.
And what about the movies? I mean, obviously the movies were sort of well received to begin with. Now that Mortal Kombat's getting a new sort of breath of life, do you think there might be an option for a new movie and you guys maybe getting involved?
Yeah, we've certainly had conversations about it, but we don't have something that we're ready to announce or anything. But it would be really cool, I think, to see a really contemporary, version using today's technology of these characters that have been around for 20-something years.
And what's the reaction been from the fans when they've seen some of the new moves and the new characters?
They've loved it. It's great. Kano in particular. A number of people's reactions have been, hey, I've never been really a big Kano player before, but I got to try him now. So getting responses like that is really encouraging for us.
Okay. And you get to use the environment a lot more in Mortal Kombat X. Do you want to talk a little bit about the reasons for that?
Sure. Fighting games, the environment has always just been kind of like the pretty picture that you fight in front of. And again, we really wanted to kind of innovate and move forward. So a lot of what fighting games are about is your position on the arena and just kind of maneuvering yourselves. And that's like a big part of the strategy with fighting. So we really wanted to give players advantages to let themselves escape out of certain areas or even use areas as you pick up projectiles and weapons. So it's not quite as big as we did in Injustice, where we're not throwing cars at people or sending people through walls, but it is a lot of great moves that can be done using the environment to position yourself.
And talking of Injustice, any thoughts for a sequel?
We have nothing that we could announce. We're very happy with how the game did, so we'll see.
Excellent. And have you got a message for the fans?
I guess the main message is Mortal Kombat X is coming out in 2015. We'll be giving more detailed date in the near future, and it's coming out for literally almost all the big systems, both PlayStations, both Xboxes, and the PC.
Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks a lot.
Finish him! Get over here!
Thanks for watching. Why not subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the link on the screen now.